The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on this program are the speaker's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of the Bunk Collective and its affiliates. The material and information presented here is for general information and entertainment purposes only. This program might include strong images or language and may not be suitable for all audiences. This podcast was mainly created for fun and entertainment, and because we're the only podcast that has a big enough bravado to talk about all these. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm always the type of person where if it's like I'm hard-headed like that, like if I want something and if money permits, it's like you know how it's like I don't want to say like I'm misogynistic or anything, but like
Yeah.
girl math, right? It's like
Yeah,
you know
I told
how
you
girl
about girl math.
yeah, exactly, right. So girl math is so there's Yuki math. It's like
Okay.
it's somewhat similar to that, where
Okay.
it's like it's just 5,000 peso like payments,
Okay.
things like that. So I've always wanted this Roadcaster Duo. I haven't bought it yet because my fiance is stopping me
What is
every
it?
time. It's a mixer that can mix
Ah.
two microphones, can like everything when it comes to sound from my PC, it goes through there.
Mhm.
And it's just fucking fantastic. Rode, sponsor us, please. I beg you. So, that's how Yuki math goes, but I wanted like as a topic really quickly. Just because I thought of like the Yuki math. What's something that you own, maybe? Or
Mhm.
not maybe. It's like what's something that you own, you bought that's most expensive just to brag that you kind of own one.
I'm gonna pretend that I didn't think about this and we
Yes,
didn't have
okay.
like a whole
Yeah,
ass discussion about it.
we did have like
Um,
10 minutes of discussion before
And
this.
I don't know. I'm not. I may seem and I may look like I'm a materialistic person just because of like how I present myself like
It never
online
it never
with you
really occurred. Like to
guys.
be honest, like it never
Really?
really occurred to me. Yeah, it's
Okay,
like
that
it
that
never really
cool,
occurred
cool,
to me.
cool, cool. Then, so when you ask me that question, like just to brag, I'm like, fuck, like I don't know, like
You need
maybe maybe my mirror, right? My full body mirror right now. Not to say that it's like to brag, but like it's just nice when I take photos in the mirror. And
okay.
then it's a really nice mirror from IKEA that's not the most affordable.
Affordable.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool. No,
that's it.
like I mean that's totally cool. I thought of it because I really wanted the Roadcaster and stuff. So, but
Yeah.
if there was something that I maybe bought just to brag about it, is that my wallet? I don't need a wallet that's nice. I
Is this
I
your is this your LV or your
It's a
what is it?
Coach. It's just a
A
Coach.
Coach.
It's not even an
Oh,
LV
okay,
wallet.
okay.
Yeah. So I
Okay,
bought a
that's so
Coach wallet.
expensive.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's still hella expensive. It's like I used to own like a decent wallet. Like I had a Seiko wallet which I gave to my brother-in-law. So
Seiko
or future
watch?
brother-in-law. No, like Seiko, Seiko wallet. Di mo
What's
alam,
that?
hindi ka nakikinig ng AM. Ang wallet
No.
na maswerte. Oh my
No,
god.
what the
They
hell?
used to say genuine, It's like
No, I don't know
genuine
that.
leather. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's like I used to own one and that lasts you for like 10, 15 years. I kid you not. They're built like a fucking tank. So they're
Okay.
actual leather, like they're actual cow leather, I think. And then it's like everyone, when it comes to like the working Filipino, if they own a Seiko wallet, like I feel that they've made it in life. To be
Mm-hmm.
honest, because it's like
Because
you
it's
don't just
genuine
own.
leather.
It's really genuine leather. It lasts you for like a decade or more. I
Mm-hmm.
owned that wallet for a good maybe 7 years. No, not
Yeah.
even. It's like I'm exaggerating. No, it's not. I bought it the same time when Ali and I started dating, which was
Mm-hmm.
around 4 years. I've owned this wallet for maybe a year, so I held on that for 3 years, and it's not deformed at all. Even if I sit on it, things like that, it's like just really built like a tank. and it didn't need a Coach wallet. It's like it didn't need a fancy wallet, but
Hmm.
yeah, I
But you got
wanted
one.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, and
it's
that's
like
fine. Like if you have the means to do so, and it's like it's something pretty. Like it
yeah,
doesn't hurt to have something pretty. I guess like if I have to think about something else, like maybe my
it's right
headphones.
here. Oh yeah, your
There,
headphones was
maybe my
like
headphones.
hella
Like
expensive. Yeah,
I didn't need to buy headphones, but because like I am online, and then around that time, like headphones were kind of like not just like tech, but it's also a
it's
fashion
fashions.
piece.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
yeah, and it wasn't the most. I mean, like it was pretty pricey, but then given that it's Sony, like it has
yeah,
amazing
it's not
quality.
bad. That's
Yeah, I
true
still got my money's worth. So probably
for
that.
sure. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I don't know, and yeah, like that's hella expensive, and it's like you never go anywhere without it. It's like
Oh yeah,
yeah, so that's always like around your neck and stuff. So
you noticed.
yeah, exactly, pretty cool. Welcome back to the Kingdom Podcast Season 4. This is Yuki, and this is Ingrid, another DWI show. So started off with that topic to kind of have the laughs because we're gonna discuss something heavy, um, and we're doing this like almost like snappy
Mm-hmm.
because like with what's currently happening in K-pop, like we've said a whole lot when it comes to how K-pop's kind of boring right now.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think that this news that happened over the last couple of days is probably the most relevant news that we've gotten since probably something like the burning
Burning
sun.
Sun scandal. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing, and maybe we should like get into it a bit more later. But then there's a lot of similarities, especially with
Yeah.
a lot of the Big Bang members were in the military at this time as well. Like same with
That's true.
BTS. So
That's
yeah,
true.
let's just talk about
So
that later.
just wanted to preface everything and like as a quick disclaimer, a lot of these will be alleged. So for legality purposes, I need to say that the majority of the information that I got were from Google, social media, and a very specific TikTok creator, which I am a huge fan of. Like she's really cool. Her name is Krista. Her TikTok account is Chris Dub, KRISDUHB, and she's following this to the T.
Mm-hmm.
And I am just like a huge fan of how she does it. It's very informative. Go check her out. Pretty cool. So we're talking about Min Heejin, who is the CEO of ADOR. Who is Min Heejin? So she started off as an employee in SM Entertainment as a graphic designer. She was an employee.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine. And then she then oversaw like the visual identities of the likes of Girls Generation, Shiny, FX, EXO, and Red Velvet
Yeah.
while in SM. Then she
Mm-hmm.
climbed the ranks as a creative director for in SM Entertainment, and then forward a bit of time, she wasn't really happy with how the current trajectory of SM is going towards. So
Mm-hmm.
she quit and then joined as chief brand officer for Big Hit Entertainment in 2019. Fast forward in November 2021, she was appointed as the CEO of ADOR, the subsidiary, or basically the subsidiary of HYBE, which is Big Hit. And
Mm-hmm.
then she debuted NewJeans in July of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Now she wants to leave HYBE.
Yeah. I think we missed something. I think she started with Source Music. I'm not sure if you heard about that.
Did she really? Like I thought that she was only like working on potentially the
Debuting a
next
girl
girl
group.
group. Yep,
Yeah, the
because that
first girl
was
group
the
under
yeah
Hybe. Yeah,
under
well,
HYBE label. Yeah,
I
which was
mean,
supposedly from Source,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. So
she did say that.
most of the New Jeans members actually started in Source. So they were trainees in Source, and then
Yeah,
um,
because also allegedly like HYBE or Big Hit wasn't really like they don't know how to debut a girl group. That's
yeah. So they needed
allegedly.
Min Heejin
Yeah,
to
exactly.
do that.
So
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah, she kind of like was in the weeds of Source, like in a sense where she more or less maybe oversaw, like, not only the training, but debuting potentially a girl group. And
Mm-hmm.
then obviously Source has a different CEO.
Yeah.
And then she became the CEO of ADOR because she thought that she could be like much more successful being under her own label.
Mm-hmm. She wasn't
So
expecting for Le Sserafim to debut first, though.
that's true. And we'll get to that
Mm-hmm.
a little bit later. So then HYBE acquired Source in 2019. Their goal again was to debut a girl group under HYBE. NewJeans, like what we said earlier, trained under HYBE and Source, with Minji being the first member when it comes to NewJeans, because she's the one in training. And then they handed the reins over to ADOR when it got created under Heejin, as this was what she wanted to happen, like what I was discussed. So here are the alleged claims. This is why we're talking about these. This is as per Naver. The alleged claims here are HYBE started an audit of Min Heejin and another high-ranking exec. We'll call him Mr. Meow because I don't know what to call him. High-ranking exec, it's way too wordy. So
Mm-hmm.
the findings of the audit said that Mr. Meow leaked confidential contracts to attract investors to induce HYBE to share their shares, or sell their shares rather, because HYBE owns 80% of shares under ADOR. The remaining 20% is held by ADOR executives, including CEO Min
Heejin.
Heejin. So Mr. Meow used his position allegedly to hand over a ton of info and trade secret inside HYBE to ADOR. And allegedly, Mr. Meow CPA, certified public accountant, was in charge of IR at the HYBE Treasury Department, and then moved to ADOR earlier this year, 2024. Based off this info, HYBE wants Min Heejin to step down as CEO of ADOR before any legal action, before any legal things happen. And then, as per Heejin, her relationship with Bang PD worsened because of debuting Le Sserafim,
Mm-hmm.
after being said that the first group that should have debuted was supposedly NewJeans. Kasi it's just like 2 months. 2 months
Yeah.
lang yung pagitan ng NewJeans at Le Sserafim eh.
Yeah.
So, those are what we currently know right now. There's still a lot of things to unpack here. This will probably be like an ongoing thing also here in the podcast, where we plan to invite, other people to appear on the show to talk about this, what they find out, things like that, because we're not really the best, like, quote unquote, investigative people, but at the same time, it's like we definitely do have our own say when it comes to things like this, because as a fan of Le Sserafim, yes, we are fans. So as a fan of Le Sserafim and NewJeans, it's like we're just like really appalled. And even Islet, it's like we're
Yeah.
really raving over Islet right now. It's like it's
Yeah, and
insane.
they just debuted too, which
Yeah,
sucks
it's
for
like
them.
what, like a month ago maybe?
Yeah.
It's like it's not even. It's like, is it a month ago? Has it been a month? Islet
Not,
September. Oh, like
no, no,
well,
no.
no, no. Yeah, they're active from 2023 because of RU Next, but they
Yeah.
debuted March 25,
So
2024.
it's
So
been
it's
a
been a
month and
month.
2 days.
Yeah. So it's just not. So the things I wanted to talk about here, Ingrid, is like, because there's been a lot of talk when it comes to similarities between NewJeans and Islet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they do share similar paths or genres? Dare we say, are they blatantly copying NewJeans as per ADOR?
I mean, you could clearly see the similarities, right?
And that's taking it very lightly,
Yeah, it's out
I
of the
think. Yeah.
question. Because even their pre-debut, or like the teaser photos that Islet released, it had a very nostalgic feel to it as well, which is what New Jeans, is well known for.
Banger of a song though. Banger of a
Yes.
song. Fucking
Yes.
fantastic. Magnetic. I
Yeah.
love that song.
So I wouldn't say that it's different. Like you could clearly see the similarities.
Mm.
So
We shouldn't say that. We'll get haters. We don't really. It's like
are we
it's not
actually
that.
still worried about that? Like
No, of course not.
we get hate for like the littlest things that we say because we always get it out of context.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's TikTok for everyone. You should listen to. By the way, last episode, fucking amazing numbers. Can I
yeah.
just say that? It's
Yeah.
like, dude, yeah,
Nice.
it's so good. Like people are listening. So I do think personally that they're very alike. And this is a management problem. It's not really like to blame towards any of the girls, any of the members of Islet or NewJeans, but there are striking similarities. Like you can't. It's like the tension. You can drop a pin and you'd hear that pin. It's like
Yeah. They were even mistaken as new jeans when
that's
they,
true.
we just talked about this in a previous episode. Like they were mistaken for new jeans when they attended an event for
Like an event. Yeah, yeah,
Acne
yeah.
Studios. Yeah, so
It's nuts. Like and yeah, it's a management problem because they're very similar. Like there's really something that it's like you put A and B photos there, and they're like hella similar. Like number of members doesn't help out. The
yeah.
backgrounds that they shoot
The
shoots with,
styling,
the styling,
the
music still
hairstyles.
even
Yeah,
music.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. The
it's like
very dream-like sound.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's even that grainy kind of music video is like yeah, it's just like very similar and it's a blatant, you know, copying of what
Copy.
New Jeans did. There was also this conversation that could probably be like a short topic here. It's like, do we think ADOR is threatened by Islet's fast rise? Do you personally
Mm,
think that someone like ADOR, someone that debuted New Jeans as a group, potentially like the next nation's girl group with how the trajectory is going, do you think they're threatened?
I mean, this won't happen if she didn't feel any sense of, intimidation by B-Lift releasing
Do you think
Eyelid.
so?
I think
I don't
so.
think so. I don't think so. Like,
Really?
yeah, yeah. It's like I don't think so. It's
But
like
why else would she, hold a press conference talking about how,
intellectual rights, maybe.
I guess.
It's like
Yeah, but
I I'm.
isn't that also saying that she feels a bit intimidated or like worried about the success of Eyelid?
She said
'Cause-
something like in this press con where I can quote it. Um, so when someone copies quote and I quote, when someone copies someone and does it well, it brings everyone down. It brings the whole industry down, and it damages shareholder value. End
Mhm,
quote.
mhm.
So you know, I guess like it is true that I wouldn't want to say intimidated because like she debuted the biggest girl group of this generation, but more of like a bit of respect
Mhm.
is lacking when it comes to debuting Islet and going through this kind of trajectory of this or this kind of journey where it's almost exactly how they addressed New Jeans.
Mhm.
Because like I guess like it's a form of flattery, things like that. People will
Yeah.
definitely say that, especially the fans of Islet. We're just saying this like out of the things that we're say that was already said, and we're not hating on New Jeans or Islet or Heejin, Adore, Hybe. I personally am not hating on them,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty sure Ingrid doesn't either. It's like we listen to these groups. At the same time, it's like can't really deny the fact that everything has been copied. It's like Control C, Control V. They didn't even use Chat GPT to change any fucking thing. It's like they just like I don't know, copied the background and just like
Well,
created that whole
a
thing.
lot of groups that aren't under hype are kind of following the same New Jeans formula, which is what
And
we talked about before, right? But then it
mm,
just makes it worse because they're from the same company. So I could understand where you're coming from, why you're saying that it's not necessarily her feeling intimidated. It's more of just, I mean, this is blatant, copying all
yeah,
the creative ideas that I've had for New Jeans, which okay, fine, I could understand.
how big is this of a hit on HYBE as a label? Should they stop debuting groups in the meantime?
I think so. I think we talked about this also before how HYBE is just in this period of time where they want to release as many groups as they can just because I guess their biggest group, which is BTS, is not going to be active, for
Anytime
a
soon.
few years. So, yeah, I think they should. They should maybe take a chill pill.
Focus on your groups, man. It's like this is
Yeah.
a not a dig on Hybe because Hybe's doing such a tremendous job in keeping the culture and the genre pretty much alive.
Mhm.
So it's not really a hit on them, but more of like I think you should focus on the gems that you currently have already, because these
Yeah.
are it's like a lot of these are unpolished.
Yeah.
Case in point, last episode.
But
It's
they have
like
pretty good groups as well and subsidiary companies like Pledis, 17.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah, jeez. So yeah, things like that. I think you already have a plethora of really good groups to
Focus
use to
on.
your advantage. Yeah, not use, like
Yeah.
focus on. Yeah. But yeah, it's like this is just like a big win-win situation for everyone. If you focus on the groups that are active already, you can focus on Islet. It's like redefine what Islet should be.
Hmm.
Because yeah, it's like it's really, in my personal point of view, they really just copied New Jeans.
Yeah,
It's
and I
like
don't think it's gonna be a problem for the Islet members to change their concept because I did watch a few of the episodes of Are You Next, and all of the members in Islet, they're pretty flexible when
flexible.
it comes to
Yeah.
concept. Like they could change concepts like just like that. So
Mm.
it's not gonna be so it's weird that Islet has a very similar concept, if not the same concept as New Jeans, when Belief knows that they can pretty much do any kind of concept, right?
That's true. Yeah. And it's
And
like
what do
my
you think?
personal. Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
No, no,
What do
go
you
for it.
think about the people saying that this is a form of corporate bullying by HYBE?
I think that from a business perspective, the business owners and the businessmen and women that are under the Hybe label are just protecting their intellectual rights.
Mm-hmm.
I want to look into it as, like from the underdog's perspective. And a lot of people will definitely look at Min Heejin as the underdog here, which she is. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, they need to protect what their money is worth.
Yeah.
So I want to approach it from, you know, the majority's perspective here, where they're just protecting what's theirs.
Okay.
But my own personal take here is that Hybe in the first place, and I agree with Min Heejin here, Hybe shouldn't have done a multi-label system. They shouldn't have. This should have been just like what the original Big
HYBE.
Three did.
Yeah.
SM, YG, JYP. That's it. Like one fucking leadership, so that everything will be under like that kind of like there is no umbrella. There's just
Mm-hmm.
this bubble of being Hybe or being big hit or whatever you want to call it. That's it. If they stuck with that and purchased every single one of these you know uh the majority of the shares of each of these companies and be just under Hybe, then they would have like this vast amount of potential nations group groups. But another personal take that I would want to say is that Min Hee-jin should step down or have New Jeans transfer companies, if that's even a possibility, with the majority of shares being under Hybe.
Yeah, but
And this is only for the sake of NewJeans. I'm only
I'm
saying it for the
so
sake of
I'm
NewJeans.
just really afraid for them. I'm worried about them going through another 50-50 situation.
And it's not
But I
far
don't
fetched to
think,
think of.
yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen to them though.
It's like
If ever the case was.
I really couldn't care on what happens next, except that I want NewJeans and or Eyelet to get ahead of this as
Mhm.
soon as possible.
Because they
Because
have
these are
nothing to do with it.
that number one, and number two,
I
the
feel for
amount of
them.
potential these two groups will take K-pop into heights that we've never seen before. I am I'm disgusted by the business acumen of a
Yeah.
lot of these major players
Mhm.
in that
Mhm.
label. But if these were all true, not that, because I wanted to point this out kasi baka sabihin ng mga tao, it's like, Yuki's for HYBE, blah blah blah. She's not, siding on Heejin and stuff. It's like, if these were all true, I'm thoroughly impressed on what she's doing right now. And she's right. Like, if someone copies someone's, like, it brings everyone down. And
Mhm.
she did say it, and I quote, "There's no one like me in this industry. Only people who make money make more money." End quote. So if this were true, I don't mind what she's doing. She is the underdog that everyone, just like fucking everyone, will be rooting for. But at the
Yeah, I,
same
I just
time,
I sympathize for her, but then at the same
yeah.
time,
But
do
what
you do
she's
you think
doing,
do you think she could have handled the press con a lot better? Because I feel like she literally had no filter. Like she just went at it like so
yeah, we didn't
ballsy.
even go through like the personal stuff
All the
that she
things that
shared.
she
Yeah.
said, which is, oh my god,
It's a messy thing.
it's
That's
so
that's what
messy.
I'm gonna say.
But then I do feel for her. Like I could understand how this is such an emotional like thing for her. But yeah, she should have been a bit more professional at the press conference for sure.
I don't know if it's like, what does ADOR stand for again? All doors, one room, right?
I have
I
no
don't know
idea.
if, yeah, it's like all doors, one room. I don't know if all doors were already opened prior to this happening. Just wanted to point that out. I don't know if this was the last salvo, if there was the ending blow, or the straw that broke the camel's back.
Hmm.
I didn't think that the press con should have happened. I think this
Yeah,
damaged not only her, but
but
also
the
their
groups.
label, their parent
Yeah,
label, and respective groups.
not to mention New Jeans just debuted like yesterday. No, no,
Like,
no.
yeah,
It had
yeah,
a
it's like,
comeback. I mean, sorry.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's like that was even asked like during the press con. It's like, oh, is their comeback happening tomorrow? Yes, it's
Yeah.
happening tomorrow. It's like shit.
Ah,
Okay.
it's so messy.
New Jeans is not at fault here. Eyelet is not at
Eyelid's
fault
not at
here.
fault.
It's really, and I said this a whole lot like in the previous episode. It's even like a TikTok and whatnot. And when I said that, a lot of people blame management for things like this, so they won't get canceled. It's really management to be at blame
Mm-hmm.
here. It's like, it's not
Mm-hmm.
us, veering away from any cancellation, because like we're kind of used to it already nowadays. So it's really just management. It's the bigger players. It's the you know HYBE, it's ADOR, it's Heejin, it's Bang PD, it's who was the other player here? Um Taewon,
G1.
G1, G1, yeah.
G1.
So it's them. It's really them that couldn't really grasp their head around, like, at least being unique in some extent if they're all debuting, it's like, under the same company and whatnot.
I
Kind
wonder
of.
what RM is thinking of right now.
I think I
I
would
wonder
want to
what the
think that
boys are thinking of right now.
I would want to think that BTS is not really thinking about it. Like they should focus on themselves. They are like risking literally their lives being in,
Yeah.
in the army
Yeah,
right
but
now,
then
in the
given,
military.
I mean, you know them, right? You know how they want to make sure that all the
Oh yeah, this sucks. For the benefit of BTS, I don't think they should come back until this is blown over. And I don't think this is gonna blow over anytime soon. I think that for the majority of this year, this will be like an ongoing thing until such point that Islet does a comeback, and if it's still something similar to what NewJeans is doing, and I was like, dude, that's gotta change. I guess those are like mostly my final thoughts here. Like anything you want to add there, Ingrid?
again, like I don't have an opinion about anything because it is too early to form an opinion about it. Because so many things are still gonna unfold. Like this is just the beginning of what's happening right now. So like for me, I just really feel for the members. Like I feel for the idols affected by this. Like they're still so young. Like two
So
of
young.
the like
So young.
what two of the members in New Jeans are like literally minors, and maybe
Yeah.
majority of the members in Islet are minors. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's mainly my concern. But yeah, it just sucks. It sucks.
They can't even drink yet and be like,
Yeah.
"Putaya, oh, what's happening with
What is
it?" you
happening?
know? So yeah, it's like I guess that's the show. Thanks so much for everyone who listened to this episode. There will be more about this like in the coming weeks or months, because it's an ongoing story in K-pop and probably potentially the biggest story that we had for a while. And uh, from the biggest company in K-pop right now, which is like just fucking mind blowing.
Just hope it
So
doesn't get any worse. Like from
I
here.
highly doubt that.
Oh my
Highly doubt that.
god.
It's gonna happen. It's bound to happen. It's like there that wasn't like the first bullet that was fired. That was a fucking nuke dropped
Yeah.
by Min Heejin. It's not like a bullet that was fired. It didn't start the war. It fucking like it could potentially end it, you know?
Mm.
So I don't know what's going to happen next, but we'll have to see in the next coming weeks. We'll release more episodes like this. Could be like one topic or one title for each of these episodes. So it's a ongoing thing. We'll get to it. So again, that's the show. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I wanna end this with a quote coming from Min Heejin, and I quote: "I wish people with some sort of ideology would lead the industry, not just people who are crazy about making money." End quote. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
I love that.
Bye.
The Kingdom Podcast is brought to you by the Kingdom Podcast Creative Team, executively produced by Dustin Sese and presented by the Bunk Collective. You can find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok at the Kingdom Pod PH. All episodes are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. For inquiries, please email us at thekingdompodph@thebunkph.com. And don't forget to visit thebunkph.com/thekingdompodph. Thanks for listening to the show and see you next time.